Alright, for today, for our little art, we're going to use Bristol board. This is thicker than paper, and it is thinner than like a painting ground, but it can take a little more abuse and paint. So it's not quite watercolor paper, but it works good. Let me show you that one. It'll blister up where you've been painting, like this one, and then it'll settle back down. Once it starts drying, it'll do fine. You just have to make sure you don't put too much liquid on it so that it doesn't get too warped. So let's get started. Today we're painting forest with watercolors, kind of looking painting, but we're doing a real nice light watercolory thing. I practiced one there, give you an idea. Now, I started off with my same colors I always use, which is Winsor Newton Professional Acrylic. I got my basic primaries here, and I mixed a few greens and watered them down. I got a purple there for some shadow and a bluish purple. You want these kind of watery to give you a real soft effect. We don't want them really a thick solid paint like these are. I'd turn it upside down, but you know, that's all going to pour off. Anyway, so let's jump right in. What I'm going to start with here is, try to keep this in line so I can show you a little better. I'm going to take this green and water it down. We're just going to lay in one of those primary ones first, like so. And what you're doing is just a back and forth motion, this kind of zigzag. You don't really want to work so hard on making such a tree shape to start with. Just go with these really simple shapes and get wider at the bottom. And we're going to stop right about there and call that our forest floor. Let's go up a little bit. Got my dry brushes here to help keep that from getting too thick and too, because I want the little tree to go up there a little ways. Don't want to get too wide too fast. And just keep these little shapes going. You don't have to work so hard at making it branches and trees. Remember, just keep it light. And because those are kind of spiky, just keep them loose and a little bit spiky, if that makes any sense at all. Alright, we're going to leave that one alone for a minute. We're going to go into the background and use that purple. Just lighten it down with some water. Make that real thin, like so. You don't want that really, it's going to be kind of our shadowy background tree effect that's happening. Just going to spread that out, because we just want this misty effect that there's a tree back there, but it doesn't have to be as detailed as those foreground trees. And you can push that around. The more loose that is, the more thin your colors are, the easier you can push those around. And this is just a big old dry brush that's helping spread that out. Let's do one more little one over here. Keep it short. Just spread it out and kind of like that. Now, let's go back in and put in something taller. Right about here. I'm going to do the same thing, just get those really short pieces on the top. Little back and forth strokes. And then get closer down here. And put a few of those out a little further from our tree. Or darker green there. That medium green. Get a little bit wider at the bottom. I need some more water down there. And these little shapes are just little touches like this. And let's make a little bit more of that green. Get that really light color first. And what I'm going to do is come back in. Whew, I got a little bit spread out a little bit quick there. This. Now, I want to use my darker green, which was that one. I watered that one down a little bit over here. And let's go back to the very first one. And because it gets thicker at the bottom, or more dense with, you know, branches and whatnot, we're going to come back in and lay in some deeper shadows here, or deeper greens. And that'll just make the tree look thicker at the bottom than it is there at the top. And this can all go really fast. You don't have to do it, you know, sit there and sweat over your details. You can if you want to, but I like to move quick on them and get them knocked out and done. So let's do a couple little pieces at the top here, just a few. And then we'll do the same thing over with the other one. We've got that dark green. I'm going to come into the center of the tree, put in some real nice tree shapes, like so. And this one goes a little higher, a little bit taller tree, so you can definitely put in those stronger shadowy shapes higher up. Need a couple things out here. And excuse me. Just do this. And then with this one being a bigger tree, I want to do that darker blue that I had made up there, that purplish. I want some of those down here where it's really thick to just make it look a little more large. And when you leave that little line in the center, you're leaving kind of a place for the trunk, kind of where your eye will fill in things that you might not see straight up, but your mind will fill in what's there. Your eye completes what's in the picture. So let's do a few more of these little purple things. Let's do some dark stuff down here. So we've got some shadows. We can extend that down. Let's just do out like that. And let's just take it with some green. Just run it out here a little bit. Like so. And we can do, if you want to do a tiny bit in that back area, right before we finish up, let's do a little bit more of something on this one, so it doesn't look quite so much like a person standing back there. But we're going to just use that gray color. It's that misty gray. And that's enough. Why do any more? All done.